So good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for attending today's session. So today we have the student discussions on talking about their study experience at the School of Engineering and Digital Sciences. So we have some students majoring in computer science and chemical engineering ready to share their experience and tips for progression and also how to prepare for studying at the SEDS. And also we have the American Institute of Chemical Engineers, so the student club, the representatives of the student club who would be ready to answer your questions about the student club activity, how to join and participate in the events. My name is Irina Sazegova. I'll be moderating today's session. If you have any questions, put them in the chat or raise your hand. And yes, so I think we'll start. First is Inara. Inara is majoring in chemical engineering. So Inara, could you please share your screen?
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Inara, and I will be presenting you the information about chemical and materials engineering. Let me start. Okay. It's not showing. Okay, let's start. Good afternoon, everyone, once more. And I am a student of chemical and materials engineering. My name is Inara. Why I majored at SEDS? This is a question that a lot of people actually asked me about, my parents, my friends. And at the beginning, when I just started studying here at this university, I didn't know why I chose SEDS, why I chose chemical and materials engineering. So that's why I want to share the information and everything I know about chemical engineering so that you will be more sure and more confident about your choice. Okay, so let's start. And a little information about me. As I said, my major is chemical and materials engineering. I'm a junior year student, so I'm third year student. And I am directly admitted student. So I actually don't know how to choose like your major from the foundation year, and I cannot help you unfortunately in these aspects. But as to my experience, I had some internships, some research opportunities in these 3 years. Actually, last year I was an intern at KLP company and worked at the gas separation unit project with them. Well, actually, I signed the confidentiality note, so I cannot tell you a lot of things about this project, but how to find an internship as a second year student. So it is really hard to find internship, especially last year considering the situation with COVID-19 restrictions, etc. But we had to just send our resumes to the human resources department of different companies. You can find the information about the internship at Headhunter and Career and Advising Center of our university. So we have actually a lot of opportunities to find internship. And I worked with this company and with another Japanese company because of the project. And actually, I learned a lot of things about processes. I learned that what we learning in university is only theory, and actually implementing it to the practice is really hard. And I didn't understand a lot of things, but this was great experience for me. So if you have an opportunity to have an internship, just do it. Even if it will be really hard, just do it. Okay, so and other things about my research, actually after second year at the beginning of third year, so in the fall of 2021, I was in research assistant, but it was only for 1 month. So why? And because I chose the project polymer physics and modeling of polycarboxylate-based superplasticizers. And my professor supervisor was Yanui Wang. Actually, this is a really great professor. But after working on this project for 1 month, I understood that it is not what I'm interested in. So that's why I just quit. So what I learned from this experience is that if you're not interested in something, just do not do it. Just find your own interests, and you can just keep practicing in these areas. So right now I'm on my way to find what I'm interested in the like specifically in the chemical engineering, what areas, what aspects I want to learn. And so if you want to be a research assistant, it is okay to quit because you don't like what you're doing. It is okay to change projects, and it is okay to change like your study interests, because you are on the way to finding yourself and what you're gonna do for the rest of your life. So for extracurricular activities, I'm actually quite interested in sports. So I was former member of a new dance club, and right now a member of a new volleyball team and taekwondo team. And I really love doing some activities which are not related to academic stuff, because you can just, rest there, and you can just forget about all this project, all these assignments, deadlines. We all have it, and we all have this stress. So you can just go to a new taekwondo, punch something, and you'll be relieved. Actually, that's quite good. Okay, so let's talk about chemical engineering a bit more. What does a chemical engineer do? This is a question that you might be asking yourself if you want to choose chemical engineering. So as all of the engineers, we design, construct, operate, manage resources, so we manage people, we manage some devices, we manage money, and we protect the environment. All the things that we do, we always consider environment. So, okay, why chemical engineering? Why you should choose chemical engineering? Because it has really a lot of opportunities. It's very broad discipline, and you might go to the pharmaceutical, you might go to, and like, I don't know, to oil, if it can be, if it's stereotypical about chemical engineering and we have only oil. No, you can go to a lot of different disciplines, and you will have a lot of career choices, because it is really very fastly improving, developing career path, chemical engineering. And it has a high rate of employment, because we are in demand. And it is really interesting, because you learn about how things operate, how you can find some ready products to use from the raw materials, and you will learn about process of how to do it. And you will have various useful skills. And considering our university, it is a little bit research oriented, and you will have skills in management, in economics, in research, in business, and everything will be combined with your like fundamental engineering skills, and you will be really, really good professional. So, and of course, we have high salaries. And let's go. Some stereotypes and myths about chemical engineering. So chemical engineering is all about chemistry. Actually, this was why I chose chemical engineering, because while being high school student, I had no one to help me. And I actually thought that chemical materials engineering was about chemistry. But well, no, it's not about chemistry. It's not about chemistry. It's not about science. It's about engineering. It's about how to do things and how to operate big machines, like you can see on this slide. So it's not about chemistry. Yes, we have chemistry there, but the basics is engineering. It's how you can process something. As the basis, we take chemistry and try to move it to a larger scale, to big industries. And chemical engineering is all about oil industry and power plants. That's really ridiculous thing to think, because chemical engineering have a lot of disciplines. We have environments, we have wastewater management, we have about atmospheric chemistry, we have pharmaceuticals. You can just go and do and create some clothes, and you can be chemical engineering. And we can manage, we can be managers, and etc. Chemical engineers are all males. Well, actually, in my class, there are 20 females and only 10 males. So, okay, let's go. Chemical engineers have high salaries. Well, actually, this is why in the myth, because when we just graduate from the university, you will never have high salary. Of course, that is understandable, and you have to go through a really long path to reach these high salaries and work hard to them. So, and now one of the asked questions is how chemistry is different from chemical engineering. So actually, chemists they do science and they investigate the processes, they investigate the backgrounds of chemical reactions. They find new paths, new ideas to have new products, but their scale is a little bit different from the scale of chemical engineers because they work mostly in laboratories and they try to find new advanced processes to find something. And we as chemical engineers, we try to solve these problems and take the information that we receive from chemists and move it to a larger scale. And all the things we do, we consider the economical viability of the projects. So we have to save money for the companies, and we have to leave the minimal environmental impact to our nature. We design process, and the basic is that we solve problems. Like, for example, we have one industry which gives you some product, yes? But during the process of achieving to this product, there is a lot of environmental impact. Like, for example, a lot of carbon dioxide is emitting to the nature. And we as a chemical engineers, we have to find new process, new pathway to find this exact product, but with minimal environmental impact. Something like this, okay? And next difference is recognition. Well, actually, chemical engineering is something that was invented not quite long ago. In the 19th century, we just started to evolve as a different like pathway, and that's all. That's why, like, we are not recognized. We are like working at the backstage and something like that. So numbers, there are a lot of chemists, but chemical engineers, we are not so many of us there working out there. This is about where we can work. We can work as an educational officer after completing your degree. We can work in a financial sector. We can work as the drilling engineers, as food technologies, as oil, of software, planning, surveyor. So we can work everywhere with our skills that we are having in this university. So these some of the interesting courses. It's about atmospheric. These are elective courses, which you can choose on your third and fourth year. And you can choose your own like path of where you want to work in the future for your work. So this is environmental and development. I actually post this course, and it's very interesting. It's about how to care about your environment while working as a chemical engineer. Electrochemical engineering, about colloids, about industrial wastewater treatment. So we have a lot of things. Now let's talk about research and internship opportunities while being a student. So you can go to this website, research.nu.edu.kz, and you can go to research units and choose Department of Chemical and Materials Engineering. And there you can find all the professors which have research, and they are actually research papers and their activities and everything about their research. You can just go there, and you can, this is a fingerprint of our department. So it means like in what areas our professors do their research. And you can go to yours, you can select one professor, read about his research, and maybe he will open the selection for research assistants, or you can just write directly to a professor and to ask to be his research assistant and to just lead a project. Well, but actually you have to complete 120 IKTS to be a research assistant. So it means you can officially be a research assistant after second year, but there are cases when second year students are actually admitted as the research assistants, but not officially. So you will not have to like do these documents, and you will just work for your own interest. Okay, next is work and internship opportunities. We have wonderful department in our university. This is a career and advising center. So, and they have their own website, cac.nu.edu.kz. So you can go there and you can find their internships and work opportunities, which our staff is bringing for you. And also you can go to Headhunter and all the other websites to find your internship. And you have just to be persistent, because not all of the companies will answer you. Not all of the companies will even read your resume, will even read your email while you are writing to them. You have to be persistent. You have to do your own research. You have to find these internship opportunities and write to them. It's all about your own effort. Okay. And one thing that will be really helpful for you if you want to be chemical engineering is ICAM. This is really wonderful club, is American Institute of Chemical Engineers, and we have its chapter in our university. And this club really helps you to find your own like educational session. They provide educational sessions, professional sessions with working professionals, and you will have a lot of opportunities to learn from them and to acquire new skills. So if you want to be a chemical engineer, I really advise you to be part of this big club. And in a little bit, Habiba will present you about ICAP. So at this point, I will stop. And just don't forget that chemical engineers work to improve the quality of people's life. So we do everything to improve our lives. Okay, so that's the end of my presentation. Thank you. And if you have some questions, you can ask them. I'm ready to answer.
Thank you so much, Inara. So Adilkhan has a question.
Yes, hello everyone. So my question is that if I mentioned that chemical engineering is about, there's some roads of environmental engineering. So can you differ, like, is there any difference between the civil and environmental engineering?
Difference about civil and environmental. So difference about our and chemical engineering, about civil and chemical engineering, yes?
Yes.
So, okay, well, actually, while being a student of third year in engineering, I understood that the difference is really small, because all the things when you're a student of like third and fourth years, you understand that we are really in the interdisciplinary engineering courses we have a lot in common. So for example, civil engineers, they mostly focus on constructing something like bridges and like some skyscrapers, but we work while doing these processes, while achieving some products from the raw materials. We think about the environmental impact, and we try to minimize it. And for the civil engineering, they too have this environment and development course, and they too think about minimizing the negative impact. So environment and development is for both for civil and for chemical engineering. It is really important because it is course. It's not like, how to say, one moment, please. It's not a major. It is a course that we all have to think about, and we all have to include it while working. Yes, something like that.
Thank you for your answer.
Inara, we also have one question. Question by Daurjan. Do we have partners at NU that we can go to them for an internship?
Partners at NU that we can go. Well, actually, I don't know. I cannot answer to this question like confidential with 100% to be sure, because I didn't. While searching for my internship, I didn't go to the partners of our university. I searched them independently.
And the other question is, what designing software do you use?
Well, I will just tell about all the softwares. One moment, please. Well, do you see this blue icon? It's lamps. And I actually work there. This is the 3D simulating designing software. And I worked in this software while being a research assistant. And this software and also another software of Aspen HISIS, we're working on it as being a student of third years. And these softwares, they help to construct like real like generators, real big devices that we will work in the future and stimulate the fluids and compounds in these processes, and we work with them. Aspen and lamps, you can just search them on the internet and work with them.
Thank you, Ilnara. I think we can go next here to Vitaly. So Vitaly will talk about his experience of studying computer science.
Hello, everyone. So, I'll share my screen. Major in computer science, my experience. My name is Konstantin Vitaly. I'm a third year computer science student, and I'm ex-NUFYP student. I was an intern at Method Pro 2019 and One Technologies as a DevOps engineer. I am an alumnus of YANDEX School for Backend Developers, both member of ACM student chapter and ACMW student chapter, and I am a peer tutor for CSCI 152 course. I'd like to start with the peer tutoring. Peer tutoring is the program that is organized by Academic Advising Office. There, peer tutors try to help mostly first year students to understand the topics of most of the courses, first year courses. I personally teaching CS 152, and I will talk about this course later. I'm a board manager of ACM and ACMW. These are the student chapters that are one of the biggest clubs in our university. They do a lot of events. As you can see, here is the just screenshot of the first page of their Instagram. And here is just a website I was taking a part in making this website while being the board member. I am an alumnus of Yandex School. There I was a backend development student where I was designing a service for Yandex internal use. This school was offline in Moscow. That's it. There were a lecture part when they taught us lectures, and the practical parts where we grouped into teams, small teams, and try to develop a product. I was a research assistant for two professors. The first one was about the first research assistant was with Professor Park. He is a professor at our CS department. He teaches both first year, second year courses. The topic of this research was how to increase the efficiency of artificial intelligence related computations on embedded systems like cars, and it mostly focused on image processing. Here are the screenshots from the article and screenshot of my own research graph that I made during the research. So I would like to describe what I've done during the foundation year program, and except aside from the studies, official studies at NUFYP University, I tried to do something more, and I don't know why, but I decided to go into computer science at first. And as I had a passion in playing computer games on both mobile phones or computer, on personal computers, I decided to create my own small, simple games, both 2D and console game applications. Like you can see here, it's just a snake in the console. Here, chess and small game, which I created by following a tutorial in the internet. But I was so proud of myself when I done this. I was not sleeping nights, trying to make this Timberman working. Here are my results from foundation year. As you can see, I was pretty average student. So about choosing a major, I was not totally sure about the major that I will study during the undergraduate program when I was at foundation. So when I went to the university, I thought that I will become an electrical engineer because I even didn't know about the existence of computer science major in this university. But when I came here, I've heard that there are a lot of different majors. One of them was computer science, and due to my previous background, school, where I found fascinating creating small projects during informatics class. But then I understood some thoughts came to my head about the utility of my of computer science. I was quite hesitating about is that a science? Is that a useful science? So I thought biology would be a much more useful science. So I probably need to go there and learn about it. But then I understood that my personality, mostly because of my personality, I won't be able to successfully study biology. One of the reasons is that I cannot focus on my studies for hours, for days. I don't know, it came from school, but I thought that in biology major, I'll have to read a lot of books. I thought that I'll have to spend a lot of time for my studies. And I didn't have any experience in biology, so I decided to stick with computer science. So the first criteria is the interest in your major. Experience is the second criteria that I like to suggest. You third one is your personality. So as I said previously, personality might be a reason for you to change your decision. Usefulness profession, that was the thought that I already mentioned. Opportunities and career. In terms of the opportunities, when I finally decided to go to computer science, opportunities that are given by this major were one of the biggest reasons why I came to this major. Opportunities to work from any location in the world, opportunity to have a big salary, opportunity to, I don't know, have a lot of opportunity to have free time and career. That I can make a career in probably any modern company. About career and research paths for computer scientists, there are tons of different directions that you can go after completing major in computer science. You can see some of them here. So algorithms, computer operating systems, software engineering, web development, machine learning, computer vision, language processing, robotics, ethical hacking, virtual reality, 3D design, game development, maybe low-level computer architecture, cryptography. So there are tons of different fields which you might find interesting for you. And for now, I'd like to focus on the courses that you'll take during the your undergraduate program if you will choose computer science major. Here are the top list of my computer science courses. I'll focus on these first 5, and I'll briefly mention the other 5 later. So the first course is computer science, where you'll know about some simple basic concepts of computer science programming and their conditions, variables, loops, functions, arrays, and some other things that you can see here on the slide. Here is the program that we have written during this course, and it is a sorting algorithm. Here is an additional program that any student could try to write during this course, and it is Minesweeper game. Second course is my favorite course, actually, performance and data structures. During this course, you will learn such concepts as object-oriented programming, performance simulations, different structures, data structures such as stacks, queues, trees, and hash tables. You can see them here on this slide. Why this course is my favorite one? Because I have taught this course both during my peer tutoring sessions, and I was a private tutor as my additional income during my summer holidays. So I was really engaged in this sphere. I enjoyed watching these trees. I enjoyed writing the code, but I saw the problems that our professors. There were some problems related to this course during about its the problems were related to the complexity of this course when starting from the beginning, because after CSCI 151, students know only C language and some simple concepts. But after they come to CSCI 152, they face with tons of new knowledge that they have to know. So my advice for you would be to start learning for CSCI 152 if you will take this course in advance during your winter break. Operating system is one of another favorite course. Here you'll learn how to create. You'll not be able to write your own operating system by just following the lectures, but you will understand some major concepts that are related to operating systems. These are related to task scheduling, how to synchronize different processes, how to be able to run different programs using one single core or multi-core processor, how file systems are managed on your computer. And here actually you can see some screenshots that I made as an additional learning material for myself. When we learned these algorithms, I decided to remember the algorithms that we were studying and created small programs that were helpful for visualizing the algorithm. For example, this clock algorithm visualizes the caching technique used in operating systems, and worst fit algorithm is used to manage space in computer. Formal languages is quite controversial one because it is really abstract, and I did not even understand why this course called formal languages till the middle of this course, because it was so abstract and we were doing such fascinating things like automatas, and the structure of this course was, I think, the best one compared to other courses, because it had little assignments that were helpful to keep us up to date to our lecture schedules. The tasks were not too easy and were not too hard, so they were quite challenging. And it was interesting to draw these automatas. Then we learned about grammars, how parsing works. So if you will write your own compiler, so at first you'll write your own programs like this. Then during this formal languages course, you'll know how these programs, compilers read your code, how they transfer it to machine code, zeros and ones, and how computer understand this your words. Algorithm is another course that I would like to mention. We have learned a lot of different topics during this course. Some of them were intersecting with the CSCI 152 course, such as sorting, searching, a little bit of hashing, but the complexity of problems that we were solving was a little bit harder, and the topics were quite challenging for both for those who had an experience in computer science or web development, and for those who didn't. Many of the students who had an experience in competitive programming found this course easy, but it's not my case. The dynamic programming was quite challenging for me. Artificial intelligence is another really interesting course. There we were studying how to create programs that, for example, can find a path from one point to another, that can recognize some digits that can win during the game, that can find an optimal solution. This course is third year course, so you have to learn the previous ones to achieve this one. Other courses were software engineering, where we were creating full stack websites, and software lifecycle process, computer networks, where we will explain how internet works, how networks, computer networks work. The eighth one was programming languages, where we were learning Java, Python, and Prolog languages. Prolog language was quite challenging, but it actually was my favorite part from this course, because Java and Python, because Prolog was not similar to any other languages that I had an experience writing programs with. Ninth is computer science and organization, where we were writing programs like this on assembly language. So it is the lowest possible language, except for the simple zeros and ones. And database systems, where we were learning SQL, which is a language for designing databases, how data is stored on your computer. And here you can see the example of the screenshots from our lectures. Here is the design of a database, where we store the relation between different data, such as this one is related to customers and suppliers. This is from computer networks, where we learned how actually computers are how communication between two computers is done inside the network. So client tries to achieve the server, service replies back, and after that client says, yes, I received your acknowledgement. So this technology was created in order to resolve the problem of data loss and some other issues. And this is an example of Prolog program. I do not actually remember what this syntax means, but writing those programs were actually interesting. Now I'll talk about research at Nazarbayev University. If you are a computer science student, you can find information about different research opportunities by following these links. One of them was already mentioned by Inara, and some of them are related to computer science specifically. For example, here is a GitHub page where information about different research interests of our professors are stored and presented. Here is official site of our school, where you can find any information about our professors, staff, and their research interests mostly. And here are the projects that are done in our university. For example, this is a screenshot from this site, ISAI, which is related to artificial intelligence, and they are doing research in these fields on this project. For example, Kazakh speech corpus, multilingual speech recognition, and image processing, like speaking faces, and etc. etc. You can follow this link and know about these projects a bit more. So that's actually the end of my presentation, but at the end I would like to give you my recommendations how to succeed during your studies at undergraduate program and how to succeed after that. These are my personal thoughts. So the first one is do your pet projects, because pet projects are extremely helpful in understanding and learning the concept that you studied that you learned during your studies, and you do not actually have to wait until you get to the software engineering course to try to create your own first web page or web server, or you do not need to wait until CSCI 152 to learn C++. You can, as I did, try to write simple games or some other projects that you are interested in order to learn this concept and get prepared for your future studies. When you do what you really enjoy, the study speed increases dramatically. So another advice would be to solve problems. LeetCode is one of the most popular websites to solve computer science related programs. And the solving problems will help you to go to top companies, top IT companies such as FAANG, Google, Microsoft, Amazon, etc. YANDEX. If you will learn how to do competitive, you can also join. There are a lot of different websites that you can find on the internet, but LeetCode is one of the most popular. So the third one is to join ACM and ACMW clubs, or at least attend the events and special interest group. ACM is a great club. It conducts a lot of different very, very helpful and interesting events, such as senior talks, programming contests, talks about research, etc. That cover, I think, all of the main fields that any computer science student is interested in. The other devices would be to learn above the course materials. So if you learned how to create an algorithm that will find a path between 2 points, you may try to implement this program by yourself, not just knowing the algorithm, not just understanding it, but try to write your own program, try to run your own character that will try to go from one point to another, like Pac-Man that will want to eat as many dots as possible and going through, I don't know, going the shortest path. And another advice would be learn by practice and visualization. So these devices are interconnected. Try to write your own program that will help you to visualize the algorithm, the concept that you learn. And the last advice would be to set big dreams, because this will motivate you to continue your study, working, etc., and will allow you to enjoy your work in progress. That's it. That's all that I want to say. If you have any questions, you can ask me.
Thank you, Vitaly. We have one question.
Mhm.
Daurjan, could you please?
Hello, Vitaly. So can you tell briefly about a new ACM student club? For example, something like what does this club do and how to join there? Because I remember that when I wrote to them to ask something several times, they didn't answer me.
The first step, if you're interested in ACM club, the first step that you probably need to make is to subscribe to their social pages, like Telegram channel, Instagram page, where all the events are listed. I can a new ATM C or something like that.
Yes, I know
is
this
the-
page.
So all of their events are listed there. They include I don't know, programming contests like ACMW, which is a programming contest for women in computer science. Other one includes speeches, talks, masterclasses, and some just funny quests like the one that our club is conducting today, I think, which is called Rough Luck Contest, where you just need to solve some puzzles somehow related to computer science. If you want to know how to join them, you can, I think you can write to the Instagram page, or probably you can write to me if you want.
Okay, and second question is, in which year we will choose our direction or profession, like data science or software engineer?
Our program does not require you to stick with one field, but you will. So we don't have such strict thing as you have to choose your
Courses.
study area. No, you can choose your courses. Like you can choose more courses related to artificial intelligence. You can take more courses related to writing compilers or image recognition or those fields, or you can try something else like Internet of Things. So this is completely up to you. If you understand that you are interested in, for example, artificial intelligence after the course or during your own self-studying, you can take more courses that are related to artificial intelligence on 4th year, like that.
But in first year, we will learn only C++, yes? Or
C and C++.
Yeah, thank you very much.
So I'll answer other questions from the chat. You have mentioned your experience in tutoring first year students. Could you share courses or websites that students could study during summer break to prepare for first year? Actually, I don't have many of students asked me, but I don't actually know the any great. No, I probably used them, but the most important advice from me would be to try to implement your pet projects. So project that you will work on during your free time, that you will be interested in, and this will have the I think will give you maximum possible knowledge during your summer break. About the courses, you may try to find courses on Coursera, and try to find like C++ or Python or something else. But the first language that you'll study during your first year will be C language, so you might want to learn it in advance and not focus on Python, which is quite different from C. Is it possible to find a job immediately after the bachelor in CS in case you have not done external education in this sphere? It is possible, yes, but actually, it's actually possible, but you'll need to study well during your courses, because after you graduate, the first thing that your employers will look at is your knowledge. So they will invite you to the interview. They will ask you the questions regarding your knowledge. And if you are studying the course as well. If you have done the projects during our course well, for example, not taken them from internet, but have written them by yourself, then you will have enough experience to get your first job after graduation. But actually, many of our students found the job without even before graduation, during their fourth, third, or even first year study. The most easy, you may want to try to get internships during your summer breaks, and they will be extremely helpful for you to get a job after graduation. Is it recommended to gain advanced experience in programming before studying in CS program? There are a lot of students who did not have any experience at all. There are some students that even got to Google internship even without having any experience before the CS before taking CS major. Yes, if it's allowed, I can. I'll write to your direct messages. So.
Thank you, Vitaly.
Mhm.
So yeah, Vitaly is a peer tutor at our peer tutoring program. So he holds his regular sessions on the CSCI 152 course. So if you want to join his session and to see how the course is going, what are the assignments, what questions do they raise, so please feel free to do so. And now we'll have our last presentation, American Institute of Chemical Engineers. So the floor is yours. So
I share my screen. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Please see it.
Yes, we can.
Okay. So hello, everyone. My name is Habiba, and I'm a third year chemical materials engineering student. Yes, and actually, I think today Inara gave an excellent presentation that represents chemical materials engineering very well. But I want to give you more information about our club. So AICHE is a professional organization for chemical engineers. It is actually the largest organization for chemical engineers in the world. And we are one of their student chapters. The first one in CIS region and almost the only one. The second one is in KBTU. Yes, and actually we we work with chemical engineers all over the world. We exchange experience and improve our networking. So in total, there are more than 60,000 total members worldwide in more than 110 countries. This organization was established in 1908, yes, and as I said, the purpose is to dedicate services so that we can make chemical engineering and also chemistry students understand chemical engineering more. Yeah. And actually, we are, as a student chapter, we have to create various opportunities for chemical engineering students. And we organize various events. For example, we organize research opportunities where we invite our professors and our students so that they can interact with each other, and professors can find prospective research assistants, and students receive good opportunities regarding research. Yes, and also we organize various alumni talks where we invite successful alumni and they share their experience. We also invite industry leaders and experts so that they directly give us better understanding of various sections of chemical engineering. So I think prospective chemical engineering students know that chemical engineering is quite broad, and we can divide it actually into oil and gas industry, I mean, a part of oil and gas industry, and then food production, cosmetics, pharmaceuticals. So we we give more information about all of these sections. Yes, recently we returned to offline format. So actually, recently there has been no field trips, but back in 2019, 2018, there were. Yes, soon we're going to organize an intellectual competition. And actually, I think somebody asked about software that chemical engineering students study. So as a part of our syllabus, we study COMSOL, I mean Python, and Wolfram Mathematica. Yes, and I mean LAMPS, GROMACS is a part of research. But one of the most important softwares is Aspen Plus and Aspen HYSYS as well, if you want to work in oil and gas industry. But unfortunately, these softwares are not very implemented in our curriculum. I mean, we third year engineering students, we study Aspen HYSYS, but it's very introductory. So what our student chapter does is that, what our student chapter did is we got in touch with lead engineer from KPO, is Karachaganak Petroleum Operating, and soon, I mean in May, we're going to have a course with him. So with industry leader, we'll have a course on Aspen HYSYS. So students will have an opportunity to learn from this amazing expert. Yes, and yes, and also. As I said, we are almost the only one, the only chapter in CIS region. So it means there are no such chapters in Russia or in any countries that are close to us. And the closest chapters are from India. So actually we work a lot with Indian chemical engineering students. We also work a lot with guys from Ecuador. For example, we had sessions where we invited various professors. This one was from Pakistan. These two were from Ecuador. Yes, we also work a lot with American student chapters. Yes, and ASCHE is actually a large organization. We plan to participate in various international competitions. Yes, we're right now looking for funding. Yeah, and as I said, we organize various events on process engineering, beauty industry. Yeah, and so Christian Guzman Vilteget is actually that engineer from KPO. Yes. So as I said, we promote research. This is our social links. Actually, we have a channel in Telegram. And in this channel, you can find a lot of chemical engineering students. So if you are prospective chemical engineering students, please join us, because you have an opportunity to contact senior or junior students or sophomore students directly. Yes, we are all open to your questions, and we want to create this community of chemical engineering students in our at our university. Yes, so as I said, we invite various professors to promote research. Yeah, so these are our contexts. So if you have any questions, you can ask me.
Thank you so much. Does anyone else have a question? Do you organize any field trips or anything as part of the club?
Sorry, could you please repeat? I did not hear it well.
Do you organize any field trips or anything?
Field trips. Yes, we did organize field trips before quarantine. Yes, before quarantine, and I think we will organize it once we are fully back to offline.
So any student of any major can join your club, right?
Actually, yes. We have members from chemical engineering, from petroleum engineering. Yes, and I think we're open to guys from chemistry. I mean, anyone can join. We don't have any restrictions, but mainly we're chemical engineers or chemistry or petroleum engineers. Yeah, SEG. Yeah, and I also wanted to say that we try to present more information about internships for chemical engineers. So there are also sessions about internship opportunities.
Thank you. So, so I think that no one has any questions. Thank you so much again for attending to this session. The video recording will be available later on our YouTube channel. And also, if you want to know more about other SEDS majors, you can also book an appointment with our peer advisors. So we have peer advisors who are majoring in robotics, mechanical engineering, computer science, and you can have a one-to-one appointment with them to know more about the study experience at SEDS. So just book an appointment via our website. And yeah, I think that's all. Thank you so much.
Sorry.
I just,
May,
oh, sorry,
Yeah.
go ahead.
yeah. May I ask a question to Eric, Mr. Eric?
Sure.
Mr. Eric, how many % we should take to be sure that we will be accepted to computer science after the foundation year?
So that's a very
Yeah.
specific question.
I know it's not about
No, and it's
stuff.
good, I suppose, because everybody's kind of curious about these things. But basically, you need to score 70% or higher in all of your subject areas within NUFYP so that you can be guaranteed to get into one of the 3 choices that you make at the end of this semester. Now, the higher you score in mathematics, probably the better your chances of getting into computer science, but I don't know if they consider that really. Typically, it's a very good possibility as long as you're above 70% that you'll get into your first choice. So people who are interested in going into SEDS and doing computer science, I've spoken with a lot of students, and typically what I recommend is to choose computer science as first choice, SEDS undeclared as second choice, and then do something like mathematics for your third in SSH. And hopefully the plan being that if you don't get into computer science, then you'll be in SEDS undeclared. And then you'll be able to declare computer science as your intended major shortly after completing like the first semester or even the first year.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. Sorry, I know that was really specific just for NUFYP students. So the last thing I wanted to mention, though, is that the SEDS presentation, along with the rest of the school presentations, are all available on the AAO YouTube channel. But they're also, if you go back through the student newsletters, I have links to all of them in the student newsletters that your instructor, Amy Golden, sends out. And so you can go back and look through those if you'd like to, so that you can get links to the previous presentations as well.
Thank you. So I think this is all. Thank you again for attending to this session. Hope this helped. Yeah. In case you have any questions, refer to our peer advisors or refer to the speakers, so they hope their contacts shared in the chat. Yeah, thank you. So I'll stop the recording.